All right, so we're just trying to figure out these two bikes that we're trying to be on. I'm on a GSX-R1000RR, and Bogna is supposed to be on an RR2, but the instructor is like, I'm taking this one. So as you guys know, I have sold the BMW S1000RR, and I've had a lot of comments about why am I not buying another GSX-R1000. So today we had an opportunity to ride a GSX-R1000. So we're going to do a dual moto vlog. So Bogner's up there leading the pack.
I'm going to roll back a little and make room for the instructor.
All right, so let's get our TFT display. Kind of nice, a little old school analog, but take it. And I'm going to try to scooch up with Bogna, if I may. Do you mind, babe?
Yep.
So she's on her GSX-R1000.
It's so tiny.
So it's so little. So the complaint that I have, if we can look down here, look at my knees. Babe, show my knees.
Yep.
See, so little room. So that's kind of my big chief complaint of why I haven't bought another GSX-R1000. That's pretty much the sole reason. Now, Bogna's looking for a new bike. So, babe, how do you fit?
I fit just fine on it. It fits better than the 600.
So, you know, she got rid of her R6 because she couldn't. I mean, she was tippy toe. And oh, this is gonna be fun, babe. Dumb.
Hill start assist, please.
Hill start assist. All right, guys. So yeah, so Bogna sat on this, and she can, I don't want to say almost flat-footed, but she wasn't on her very tippy toes. So the GSX-R family has really stayed the same for some time. So it's not a bad bike, you know. Obviously they've got restrictions just like the 2020 BMW, and of course, you know, the 2020 or the 2018, I believe, is when they released this new version. Of course it had its problems too, right? A lot of people get these expectations that this thing was going to be the king, and it kind of fell flat because of the APAs and whatnot. So
yeah, they start flushing those right of the gate too, remember?
Right out of the gate. I know Eric with EDR had gotten a hold of one of the very first ones, and you know, he exhausted it and tuned it and got it all set up, and he pulled the numbers that was supposed to be pulled out of this. So
I would be worried to go ahead and flash that. I mean, it's a Suzuki motor, right? It's not look at the clacking, it's right.
Well, this was the new motor, but they fixed some things on the motor, so you're not getting, you know, if we bought this bike right now, we would be in our, well, depending on what model year we would buy, a 2019, I believe, is the second model year.
It's so comfy.
So not bad. Now for me, I'm up, I feel like I'm up a little bit high. The seat's not super comfortable. It's a bit hard. I would say kind of similar to the S1000 M seat. It's definitely not comfy. So let's see, we've got our quick shifter. So that's nice.
Is it up? Oh, up and down. Perfect.
Is it up and down?
Yep.
All right, sweet, we'll take it. So of course we've got a lot going on in this display, and I really...
There's a lot going on. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Now, we've got our mode button, so let's see if we can... Oh, that's nice. So we can switch to mode, traction control, and turn it. So let off the throttle and it'll turn it. And then we go to our B mode. So we're in B mode. So yeah, a lot going on the display, but I really have to say I got spoiled with that S1000. It was absolutely beautiful on the display. And so this is kind of that analog digital display. So hopefully they get this a little bit more updated. Now we know we've been fighting, Suzuki's been fighting the market, and so it's been a very unfortunate time for Suzuki, because obviously Suzuki in the early to mid 2000s absolutely dominated the market, and here we are, and we can't even get model years changed. You know, 2015, 16, they didn't even make a GSX-R1000. So you guys kind of wanted to know why I'm not on this. I mean, it's so, you know, there's what's happening with Suzuki, what's going to happen with Suzuki, you know, so that's going to be a big question in the thought of, you know, do we buy one of these? What do you think, babe?
I mean, I like it. It fits me fine. It's crazy how like tiny this bike is.
So that's why I don't like this bike, is because how small the bike has become. I can't fit behind. I mean, if you guys can see down, my legs are almost out past the fairings. So the tank and the side fairings are, you know, about 2 inches off of the tank, the side fairings are.
I mean, I feel your BMW feels lighter swinging it left to right.
Yeah.
It's definitely a little heavier.
Yep.
Which, it's a bummer because, you know, it's really smooth. They fixed like the throttle and everything. The throttle is really nice. Power delivery.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, I definitely don't mind the power delivery. The throttle's been nice. Brakes seem decent.
It looks gorgeous. I love this blue bike. I want one kind of badly.
Well, I think we've got a few little things that we could obviously upgrade on. Get rid of this Nissan Master, get the Brembo on there, and then the Brembo system, I believe, is complete. That's really what a lot of people did in the early times for the brakes, is they got rid of this Nissan Master, and they get into the Brembo. So,
I mean, it moves left to right really nice. I've been kind of like, whenever we come to a corner, I've been slowing down a little,
yeah,
and then trying to like lean it and
get into
like,
it a little bit more.
Yeah. So we are on a guided tour by Suzuki. Thank you, Suzuki. I believe last year there was no test race here, right?
Yeah, last year.
Or there was no Gixxer 1000s. They wouldn't let you ride those.
They wouldn't let me ride a Gixxer 1000. I think they did have the test rides, but it wasn't as expanded out as this one is. They have a good amount of bikes. So this is very, very good to see that they have put out this many bikes for riders to demo. So thank you, Suzuki, for allowing us to get on these, you know, $20,000, $18,000 machines. But and they have some very good incentives. So right now, obviously when this video comes out, I'm not sure what incentives will be, but can't imagine there'll be much more. Everyone complains about the big club exhaust. So they are giving you a Yoshimura slip-on at no cost, 1.9% financing for 36 months, which is sweet. And I think you get $1,000 customer cash. So Suzuki's got some of the best incentives right now on bikes, especially this GSX-R1000, because, well, they're having a hard time selling them. So personally, if it wasn't for the size for me, I would have bought one of these when they came out.
Wait,
backwards, babe.
Backwards.
I just did the same thing. I'm like, hey, fifth gear, what's up?
I'm not really like the cluster is really cluttered. I'm like, what am I looking at here?
Yeah, I wish we could dumb down the cluster a little bit, or just get what we need. And that might be a possibility. We don't really have a lot of time to get into the cluster. So now I have ridden this on track and I didn't mind it. I didn't not enjoy it. So on track it was a very, very cool bike.
You look good on it.
Yeah, it felt good. I mean, you know, doing this, look, if I'm on track, if this was my track bike, I wouldn't mind it. But on the street, you know, again, it's just how tiny the thing is. So it might be a Bogna edition with the flip of I steal it every once in a while. like she lets me steal her MT-09 on the street.
Hey, you rode it on the street finally.
Yeah, by the way, my very first time riding this, the MT-09 was on the street, was just the other day going to town, so.
2 up.
2 up. So how was that 2 up ride back there?
That back seat, someone did not think that through. It's just like a brick. I think the M seat was more comfortable, babe.
Product development at its worst. Now, obviously, I'm in the optical industry, and I always say, you know, designers should always have to test their product in its nature before they release it. And so the MT-09 rear seat, the developer of that seat should have sat on that seat. Should have been required to sit on that seat.
Or like an hour ride. Yeah.
I think that seat would have been a little bit different.
Yep. Ooh, and we're gonna get to do that again, the little sweepies. Oh, wrong direction, wrong direction.
So let's get Bogna up next to us real quick. Let's take a look at Bogna.
The quick shifter is really nice.
It is, and we always talk about the quick shifters. I always talk about the quick shifters, and I enjoy the quick shifter, so I don't mind this one. Now, you know, looking at Bogna, now you can see, now that you've seen, obviously, video of Bogna shooting me, now we can see what Bogna looks like. So now you can kind of understand a little bit better of the size of the bike, because she is definitely a better fit for that bike. This bike looks like a little 600. I mean, it really is a small bike. Well, add in that ginormous can. But thanks, Suzuki, for giving us a Yoshimura slip-on.
I bet Two Bros has a can for it.
Oh, Two Bros is just, this is Two Bros
Fireballs.
territory. Fireballs.
I had on the 600, I had a can on it, and it was ridiculously loud. It was bad. It was worse than the MT.
Jeez.
But it was a shorty on the 600, babe. Woohoo!
Well, and that was before the big caps that were on it, the big caps.
Yeah.
So that was like straight pipe. I mean, you know, we had the Two Bros pipe on the R6, and it was it was not Two Bros. But that's also because it was snuffing through the catalytic converter. But get a full header system on this bike with Two Bros. Ooh, baby. I think that's the way to go. I would take a Two Bros full system on this. I'll take the Yosh, sell it, buy the Master. There you go, babe. Buy the Master for the Yosh slip-on, and then just get the Two Bros.
It rides really nice. Like, I like it. Remember, I didn't get to ride the 1000 out on track?
Yeah.
I did get my sticky fingers on it, and then they wouldn't let you ride it for like ever.
Yeah. Well, we've got our manual suspension, so, you know, we don't have the fancy electronic suspension. It was one thing that a lot of people faulted about this bike, because everyone was coming up on the R1, and it's got the fancy suspension, and the BMW S1000, it had the fancy suspension. Look, coming off that 2015 or the 2020 S1000, and that fancy suspension that I couldn't change. I mean, I could, but, you know, I could change this suspension too. So,
I mean, and you save yourself $7,000, $8,000, $9,000.
Look, I'll take this setup, because really, when I get my bike set up like the 2015, I'm at a happy medium between a good aggressive track setting and a good semi-aggressive road setting. So I don't mind it. So
whee! So now can we take it out on Laguna and do a couple laps?
squid lap. Squid lap.
Can I take it on the squid parade?
See if Suzuki would allow us to. So, you know, we just wanted to do this fun, this was more just of a fun ride. We were running through and we saw them and we're like, you know what, let's do a vlog on this because you guys have been commenting about the 2020 S1000 and why I'm not going in this direction. So this was a very good, perfect timing / opportunity for us to get on these bikes and show you guys size and kind of
I hate gravel.
a little wise. But don't get me wrong, I don't dislike this bike. As you guys know, you know, coming from until 2010 when they went to this size bike, I was always a Suzuki. I had 01, 03, 07. I still have an 07, so I always love my Suzuki GSX-R. Sriracha bike. But on the flip side, you know, this when I sat on this in 2010 when they released the new model, and BMW was coming out with their S1000, and I sat on it, and it was just it was somewhat of a no-brainer. It was really just a, you know, I felt more comfortable on the BMW. Now the BMW ergonomically is actually
it's so similar.
It's pretty similar, so it's quite interesting. But just everything about the, you know, I think everyone was in the battle back in the 2000 to narrow down these bikes and make these 1000s the size of 600s. And you know, Yamaha really hasn't necessarily gone that route. Yamaha R1s are still a bit wide. The BMW S1000 is still a bit wide. Kawasaki's, of course, the ZX-10s are still wide. But then you've got this bike and it's just so narrow.
But Beamer and this ergonomics, I mean, remember when I rode your Beamer out on track on my like third track day? I was like, for, you know, third track day levels jamming on it, and I'd never ridden it before.
Yeah, I mean, you looked at home on that. You know, I just came across that picture of one of the first times she rode, or it was the first time she rode the S1000, and she looked good and comfortable on the bike. So
I feel like there's better spots to stop.
Yeah, well. So we are heading back into the corral.
That was fun.
Oh, squid lap.
Can we go? Can I just like low-key sneak in?
If you do it, if you take a right, I'll take a right.
Suzuki will be like, no. I mean, they can't catch me. She won't catch me.
Oh, they're looking at stickers.
Yeah, probably like they look at the stickers at track.
Yeah. It's the little orange sticker that they have on their bikes.
I could get me an orange sticker. Let's find an orange sticker, babe.
So guys, you know, we're back here at the corral, and we'll wrap up on the F4.
Man, we're missing out. We could have been doing 2 up on this.
I'm good.
Oh, that was fun. That was really fun, though.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I know. So please don't comment that this is this crappy, really test ride. We really need to get this out on track. If you've got one that you want to let me ride out on track, well, you're welcome.
Comment below if you're local. Below. We'll make it happen. You get a free track day out of it.
Hell yeah. But on the flip side, you know, this was really just a fun video for you guys, and get our opinions of really what we thought of just a quick ride of the 2000, I believe this is a 18 GSX-R1000R. And I don't know. Let's. So you know, what do you think, babe?
It's really comfy. I wish it would be like as light as the Beamer.
Yeah.
And then like I'm struggling a little because I'm not used to not having the bars to turn
Yeah.
at slow speeds. But like as soon as we get rolling, that would be excellent for me for the track, I think.
So $20,000 track bike.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's the dilemma we come into: is do we get a $20,000 track bike? So
Yeah, I think like I prefer my MT on the street. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, I would rather just ride the MT on the street.
Yep.
You can find neutral pretty easily on it.
I just shut it off.
Oh, I found neutral. Yeah, I really liked it though. Like, I would love to have it out on track. It's so
Yeah.
pretty too. It's so cool.
So guys, the 2018 GSX-R1000R and Bogda's R, God, they look almost identical. His and hers?
His and hers.
Oh my God.
$40,000 his and hers.
Ridiculous.
I don't think the can is big enough though. I think they need to upgrade the can.
All right, we'll get the Yosh can. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Bogna in her new vlog helmet, if you haven't seen it.
And Bill in his old helmet, I guess.
I'm looking at a new one. But until next video, guys, stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, leave us a comment below. Till next video.
See ya. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.